Hey, what's going on, my friend? Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor, and today's video is going to be an energy update for the new moon happening on November 13th, 2023. And if you're watching this video, I imagine you've already discovered for yourself that this astrology, the new moons, full moons, eclipses, influences your own personal self-development journey. And every single moon, every single unique astrological alignment offers certain opportunities, an opportunity to learn certain lessons, or maybe let go of certain patterns that have been holding you down in your life. And this new moon is no different. And today I'm going to share with you 3 of the main themes I'm picking up anyway for this new moon. Theme number 1, I wrote down inner child acceptance. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I'm in a situation that is outside of my comfort zone, my insecurities, the wounded inner child, little Victor, my name is Victor, by the way, if you don't know, it will sometimes come up and seem to take me over. For me, it's when I do certain things that involve being around a lot of people, being in social situations, things that used to cause me trouble growing up. In these instances, sometimes this little Victor comes up, and it comes up in the form of anxiety, being in my head too much, worrying what people are thinking, and things of that nature. And I've been on this self-development journey for a while, and I've sort of discovered enough to know that it's kind of, it's like my wounded inner child, this little Victor that's sort of stuck in the past. And up until recently, every time that would happen, I would meet this little me with frustration. I'd think, wow, how inconvenient, how frustrating is it to have to constantly deal with this wounded part of myself that always makes their presence known at the most inopportune times. And so for years, I had this mindset of, I want to heal the inner child. I want to heal, which is to say, get rid of. I want this state of being associated with this fragmented inner child version of myself gone, not bothering me any longer, out of my life. And yet I find that little Vic's still there, still comes up rather strongly, especially during times of the potent astrology. And just recently, something I've been noticing with my own kind of conclusions, like a new light, seeing this from a new angle. I've also noticed a lot of other people I'm around right now are having these exact same insights. And I think if you still struggle with your inner child, it'll maybe be of help to you. And basically what I realized is that little Victor, that in me wanting to get rid of, to heal, to transform, etc., little Victor, it's in a sense invalidating little Victor. I'm denying it. And as weird as it sounds, my take on it, it really feels like little Victor just wants to be included. They just want to come along. And yeah, there's times when they are nervous. That's like my thing, nervousness, social anxiety. But instead of getting angry, I realize that I can hold space. I can still proceed through my challenging experiences while inner child is having kind of a tantrum if I include them in the mix. If I don't resist them, try to suppress them or get rid of them, then they kind of relax, ironically. I don't have to release it. I just need to integrate it. I need to accept it. I need to acknowledge it. That there's a part of me, probably a part of you too, stuck in a loop. Stuck in the past. Part of you may have gone through something that was challenging. And at that early age, you didn't know what to do. You didn't know how to deal with it. And these anxieties, depression, it can manifest in so many different ways. Self-sabotage, perfectionism, imposter syndrome, you name it. We play out these dramas, these cycles that never end well, never fix the problem, all because of our own resistance to a part of us. Whether we like it or not, whether it's uncomfortable or not, it's a part of you. It's a part of me. And I offer you just an invitation to try it. Next time your inner child comes up and it's not feeling very good, see what happens if you, just in your own little way, just be like, it's okay. I got you. Number 2, core wound clues. I watched this video last night, actually, of this little baby. It's called the still face experiment, if you want to look it up on YouTube. It's fascinating. And it basically has this little baby with her mom. And in the beginning of the video, the baby's probably like maybe a year old, I think they said. And the mom is like, oh, hey, engaging with the little baby. And the baby is just so happy, so lit up. And really, really like, they're kind of communicating in a way. And then part of the experiment is that same mother is supposed to, rather than engage and acknowledge and kind of love on this little kid, she just goes still and just sort of stares blankly at this child. And you see the baby like notices almost immediately. And you could even see their little baby mind thinking like, what's wrong with mom? What's happening here? And you could tell it doesn't feel good to that little baby at all. And then what the baby does, they call it protesting. It starts to try to get the mom's attention, to re-engage her. So it starts kind of like, that usually works. At one point, the baby is pointing, because earlier in the video, they were pointing, and the mom was acknowledging the pointing, and it was this fun little thing. He's pointing, and then when that didn't work, the baby got like, ah! like let out like a cry, and started kind of acting out. And you could see this little baby and just squirming in turmoil, just because it can so quickly recognize when mom's not really there. And anyway, these ways of trying to get mom's attention, they call it protesting. You might realize most of us, quite frankly, are still doing quite a lot of protesting in our life. Still trying to get mom's approval, mom's love, mom's attention. It's not that mom is bad. It's a hard job being a mom. Mom can't be present with the baby every second. But these little babies, we internalize it so much. What's wrong with me? Something must be wrong with me. On a fundamental, core level, I'm broken, but I'm not going to accept that, so I'm going to do things to regain mom's approval. Maybe you have spent your whole life climbing the corporate ladder. Or maybe you got really fit. Or maybe you act out and became the screw-up and the drug addict, the alcoholic. Anything to get mom's attention, mom's love, mom's approval. And for most of us, these behaviors that many people try to address at the very surface level. I need more discipline. I need to buy the right book. I need the right technique to fix this. It ain't going to happen. It stems from something very fundamental within most of us. And you might find yourself becoming aware not only of these patterns in your life, these ways you're protesting that are not really yielding. The irony is they don't ever get you what you want. You can't recapture that feeling of love anyway. But we futilely try and attempt. But you might start to realize that is not working for you. And if you allow yourself to start asking, like, why am I doing this? Why am I really pursuing this, doing this, avoiding this, etc.? You might find that you're able to trace it back to very, very early childhood, where we did have these core wound imprints. And I had this experience last night. My friend Aaron and I, we were running this ayahuasca retreat, and we always take the second night off, but we organize the retreats basically, and there are medicine people that take everybody through them. We go to the first and third night. Well, the second night we always just sort of chill. And what we find is that on the second night, oftentimes we have these ayahuasca-like downloads and experiences anyways. And kind of randomly through conversation, my friend Aaron started talking about some very surface level life circumstance he was dealing with. And I just kept asking him, what is that reflecting to you? I kind of coached him a little bit. And we boiled it down to very, 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 very early childhood. And then I found myself going through this exact same experience, basically. So I wanted to offer it to you because these moons, they give you, at least to me, it feels like a heightened state of consciousness where you can start connecting the dots and understanding why you are the way you are, how you tick, why you tick, what really drives you, and things of that nature. And if you can get to the bottom of it, going back to point number one, I'm not sure the answer is to fix it, just to know it, to start to see these patterns and how they play out in your life. That awareness can give all of us the opportunity to slowly start curbing our behavior and not wasting so much precious, finite time and energy trying to fulfill something that it's in the past that happened. Whether mom or dad was there for you or not, It is what it is. We can't change that. And nothing we do is going to sort of heal that wound, but in the awareness of that, the awareness of how that affected us can set us free from a lot of these circumstances that we have been sort of a slave to a lot of our lives. When mom isn't interested, what conclusions do you think a baby might draw? Something's wrong with me. Shame, unworthiness, brokenness drives most people, but not the ones who are self-aware, not the ones who see the writing on the wall. Who wants to take advice from a 2-year-old baby anyway? You know, just because mom is busy in the kitchen for 5 seconds, 30 seconds, it doesn't mean you're broken. But there's this deep subconscious identity rooted in this sort of false assumption that you might find yourself, maybe just listening to this, honestly, can give you some insight into how this really relates with you. And just imagine the implications with this awareness. How many of your wasted, useless behaviors you can stop putting energy into, and how much energy and passion and authenticity and creativity you can start fueling and funneling into your passions, your joys, your dreams. So many people, they feel their dreams are never going to come true, and part of it is because they're so bound up with all these useless tasks trying to fulfill that void. And if you can become aware of how you're doing that and stop doing that, you might find yourself all of a sudden with a lot of energy, a lot of time that you can start funneling more consciously into your life. And number 3, profound liberation and creative passion, kind of what I was saying. As this new moon, if you allow it, as it takes you deep into yourself, and as you have your own insights around this, you might find, again, this kind of like creativity renaissance going on, where you feel called to, in a sense, reinvent yourself. And all of a sudden, you realize what you truly enjoy doing. A lot of times, what we truly enjoy doing is very heavily blocked and distorted and negatively impacted because of this core wound thing. And when you get to the bottom of it, you might find yourself with a lot of energy, a lot of creativity. And where that one dream in your old life, the old mindset, the old state of consciousness may have felt far-fetched, all of a sudden, as you start to integrate the inner child, as you start to uncover these patterns from this core wound, you start to kind of build up this energy potential. And from this space, you start to get ideas, you start to become inspired, and you have a lot to work with. And it doesn't have to be all at once. It's just beginning the journey of recreating your life consciously from inspiration, from divine inspiration. And whatever we do from that, proceeding from that frequency, it's going to be perfect for us. Not always easy and perfect and magical, not necessarily, though definitely a lot more of that, a lot more synchronicity, a lot more flow, a lot more awareness of just how supported you are from the divine forces that you can reconnect with when you go through this type of transformation. But more so, it's just perfect, and there's the awareness of alignment. There's a feeling of stepping into alignment, reorganizing your life so it's all your relationships, your career, the things you do, your habits, the food you eat, the movies you watch, the books you read, all can become in harmony with the true you that can be liberated at this fantastic time. You don't have to drink ayahuasca to get to this point. Me and Erden didn't drink a drop last night, just through conversation that came up. Now you're hearing this, I'm passing it on to you. What are you going to do with it? You can do a lot with it. And you're probably already going through this in your own way. And this might just be kind of mirroring insight you're already kind of having. So with that said, I hope you enjoy the video, my friends. I'll see you soon in another one, and I wish you well on your path. Much love.